Way to Tech.
These video interviews are made possible by Ballast Applications, which is a full-service, full-stack design and application development firm based in Boston, Massachusetts, with the bulk of the team in Medellin, Colombia. Larry Earhart is the CEO. His email address is larry@ballastlane.com. All right, let's get to the interviews. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
My background is doing user experience design. And so I primarily focus my magic powers in the space of developing web applications and mobile applications. And the way in which I help bring those things to life is very much think about the people that are going to be using the applications, really trying to understand them as much as I can. What are they really trying to accomplish? What are the things they struggle with? How are they going about solving these problems today? And so there's very much a foundation of understanding people. And that doesn't change whether you are developing a game that is more for children, or if it's for developing an application for a certain echelon of individual that is trying to aggregate their wealth together in one view, or even a marketplace around particular products such as selling copper and steel. So all of these things, the commonality they have, although they do feel very disparate at times, is that it's people using software. And so the more that we can make sure the companies we work with, our partners, always think about the people that they're designing for, and it doesn't matter if it's a startup or an enterprise application, on the other side of the table, there's always a person using the software. And the more we can understand them and come up with solutions to their problem, the better we're doing our job, the better the software is going to help them, and the better we can help our clients. So a lot of my job is very much around understanding people and trying to come up with solutions for them. In addition to that, of course, that information then fuels the designing of user experiences, things like flows and things like user interfaces. And there's certainly a visual aspect to that, but very much there is a understanding of people at the foundation, no matter what the client or the project is.
What does that process look like? So we have a team of founders, and then we've got the product team. Hopefully they're communicating well and are familiar with what each is aiming and on the same page about what they want to deliver to the customers. But then there's a tension between what is best for these customers, given a full understanding of who they are and what they need, and the company making the app. What does the process look like to bridge that gap?
Yeah. So there's a couple of things to consider here. One of which is it's a process that is always ongoing. So one of the big challenges you'll see with large enterprises, small enterprises, is if you view the design as just something that leads development, you are not seeing the whole picture. And so what I mean by that is the understanding of the people you're designing for, your customer base, is something that will continue to evolve. It's not like, okay, we have the understanding, we're good to go, now let's move the business forward and design and develop the product. Yeah, your customer base is going to change. How much you understand them is going to change. So really the design process and that understanding of your customer, you just need to be doing it all the time. And that can come in a couple different forms. That can come in some very, let's call them non-scalable forms, in the sense of, especially in the early days of developing an application, whether it's for a startup or for a large enterprise, just sitting down with people and speaking to them to understand, how are you going about these things today? What about that process is a pain point for you? And then we can come up with some solutions. And then certainly you can start to scale those types of things by doing surveys to get some information. Surveys are certainly great. They don't really get to the depth of deep understanding. So, use them sparingly when you're trying to get high-level information across a large group of people. And then also a lot of the learnings really comes by just putting things into people's hands, whether that's a prototype in a tool like Figma, or coming up with an MVP version of your application, or even once you launch the application, the data that you get back and the continued conversations that you should be having with your customers. So all of it is part of the design process. All of it fits under this halo of really trying to understand people. And with that understanding, you come up with some solutions using design. And so that's, we're always doing that with the clients that we work with. And it's not so much of, yes, it's something that leads development at times, but the best companies just have design as part of their entire process. It's just ongoing. There's never really a particular start and stop. Maybe it changes the type of work you're doing, but it's an ongoing process.
Way to